Good afternoon or evening, wherever you are tuning in from. Welcome back. You've got Mike and Matt. This is episode 2. Today we are going to talk about Pinot and Programmatic. I am Mike. I work at Centro. I've been in ad tech for 7.5 years, which is why I'm here to talk about ad tech. Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, name's Matt. I've been in wine sales about 5 years now, give or take, and service industry for about 15 years. And I just passed my certified sommelier exam last year. So enjoy talking about wine and enjoy drinking it even more.
Awesome. And together we will be your tour guides through the cosmos. So, Matt, what are you drinking today?
All right. So the good news, Mike, even though we're stuck at home, rosé season is not canceled. So I've got a great rosé just picked up at the warehouse the other day, 2019. It's called Nudes. It's from one of my favorite winemakers, Brandon Allen, who is awesome. Kind of that cliche, doesn't take himself seriously, but takes his wine seriously. And it's a really, really good, enjoyable rosé of Pinot Noir from Sonoma County.
I love it. You? Pinot and Programmatic. This is a special occasion wine, so it's not cheap. But if you are looking for a Pinot Noir, I recommend Inman family Pinot Noir. I particularly like the Sexton Road grapes. This is from 2014. It's Sonoma side. Kathleen Inman is amazing. If you are a lady out there who thinks the future is female and into girl power, she is a fabulous winemaker. Doesn't want to be considered a lady winemaker. She is a winemaker who happens to be a lady. Check out her stuff. And her rosé was actually rated the #2 rosé in the world by the New York Times. It's called Endless Crush. Also,
nice.
But if you're really into it, it's fabulous. All right. So we need a little bit of info from you on wine. Give me what your take is, or what's the difference between New World and Old World wines?
Great question. New World, Old World wines. So Old World wines refers to the Old World, which in that sense is typically France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Spain. New World is just about everything else: Australia, South America, North America. And the general differences between the two. Old World is usually going to be a little more earthy, maybe mineral driven, maybe a little more herbal. Sometimes it's a bit lower alcohol, a little more acidity. Newer World, you've got a lot warmer climate, so you're going to get riper grapes. You're going to get a little more, generally speaking, fuller bodied, a little more extraction of the juice, typically a little more oak influence. Those are just generalities. There's always exceptions, but when people say New World, Old World, that's a good starting place.
Nice. Do you have a preference in particular, or does it go by day of the week?
Yeah, great. I am an Old World drinker myself. Love French wine, Italian wines, Spanish wines, Austrian, German, all of them. I just like that high acid, like zippy, lean, low alcohol style wine personally.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you, but recently just been crushing the New World Napa stuff. All right, so give me a little tip on something I can use like in a wine store or something like that.
Yeah, so this ties in with the New World, Old World thing. So if you do find yourself enjoying more Old World styles of wines, France, Italy, Spain, whatever it may be, a really good way to find that is if you're in the store, you find a bottle that you like, always check out the back label, because typically there's always an importer, and they have their own brand and stamp on the back label. And those different importers usually seek out a certain style or a certain representation of wine. So to name a few: Kermit Lynch, Becky Wasserman, Wygant, Sorting Table, Skurnik, just to name a few. So if you find a really good French wine, look at the back, look at that importer, and then next time you're at the store, find something else from that same importer, and odds are you'll like it. It'll be similar.
Nice. I actually have somewhat stalked Kermit for a while, and he's never led me astray.
Great stuff. Killer portfolio.
I mean, just fabulous. So
Yeah.
we're in quarantine time. What are you eating, and what's your quarantine food and wine pairing?
All right. So the other day, it's April already. So I busted open a sparkling rosé from producer Raventos. They're in the Pinedes region of Spain, otherwise known as Cava. But they actually started their own region called Conca del Riu Anoia. Look that up. It's interesting. It's like a sub-region of Cava. Anyway, it's a killer sparkling rosé. Paired it with a chicken salad. It's nice and simple. Yeah.
I love it.
What have you been drinking, eating?
The wife is 36 weeks pregnant, so I got away with making butter burgers last night, getting back to my Wisconsin roots. Drenched the cast iron in butter, throw in some ground beef. And you polish that off. I also went the champagne bubbles route, but I went with the champagne beers and hit up with my butter burgers. Classic way to keep Milwaukee deep in my hearts during times when I can't go visit it. Okay, so what do you need to know about ad tech these days? Anything?
Yeah.
Really?
Pinot and programmatic. I was wondering what that word means to you. Programmatic.
Yeah, it's a great.
Am I saying that right?
You are. It's almost as if we've practiced. So programmatic, right when it first started, I read an article in, I think it was Ad Age. They asked 5 C-level execs what programmatic means, and every answer was far too different than it should have been. But the underlying theme is that software helps you achieve this. Part of programmatic is real-time bidding. So in order to buy impressions in real time, a human can't possibly be that fast, so you need a computer to help you do it. The idea of programmatic was supposed to provide efficiencies to buying digital, which is a very fragmented space, and oftentimes programmatic doesn't provide efficiencies. You need a programmatic team, you need a programmatic buyer, you need someone who's an expert in programmatic. But I think if you take the time to learn about it, you have the right software to help you do it, it becomes a really efficient way of digital. So very simply put, programmatic is, I need a computer to help me do this. All right. Now that you know that, go ahead and start your own trading desk. About 6 people will laugh at that. So, all right. Music and food pairing. What do you got for me?
All right. This is my favorite part. In honor of Fish's early album release, Sigma Oasis, this week that came out, some of my favorite tracks are on there. But the one standout to me is the track titled Everything's Right. I think it's appropriate in a time like this when it's easy to get down. And then to add to that, I have this fantastic line called Love You Bunches, keeping the love and the positivity out there. Mm-hmm. Killer Carbonic Sangiovese from Stoltman Vineyards in the central coast of California.
I love it.
Yeah, killer springtime wine. It's a chillable red, actually. So throw that in your fridge, get it nice and cold like a white wine, open it up, and it's just absolutely crushable.
That's awesome. And if you're what carbonic means, we're actually going to have a special guest in 2 weeks who is an independent winemaker and makes some of his wine partially using carbonic methods. So going to be very interesting. Stay tuned. Little teaser.
Stay tuned. Love it.
I am going to pair this fantastic wine. It's called Public Radio. And it is from Grounded Wine Company, made by the winemaker, I believe his name is Josh Phelps. Am I getting that right? Josh Phelps. A family of winemakers. His dad actually worked at Petrus back in the day. And now he's up in St. Helena making this blend. It is a Grenache Syrah, Petite Syrah blend. If you can find this wine on the internet, it's about $20-25. It is absolutely fabulous. I am pairing that with the all-time classic, Stop Making Sense. Either the album musically or the movie, do what you want, but it starts off a little bit strange. You're like, what's happening? Then the song Heaven hits about 5 minutes in. And similar to this wine, as you're drinking it, it's in heaven. By the end of the bottle, you're cross-eyed and painless. So feel free to go ahead and drink some of that Public Radio if you can find it. I checked his website. It looks like they're sold out, but do some Googling and see if you can get it.
Another Central Coast wine too, Paso Robles. We didn't even plan that. Great area if you guys are looking for good value wines.
Yeah, it is really. I had 2 bottles of it, and then I went and bought 2 cases of it and gave a case because you got a discount. You know, they're paying me wine.
Yeah, lay some down.
Couldn't love it anymore, and I only have 2 bottles left. So I will be drinking that and watching Stop Making Sense. You know, everybody agrees the Talking Heads are a classic band. But people kind of forget about it, and I think you know, something like this might not show up, but this winemaker is like one of the big rising stars, just less talked about than a guy like Pax or somebody like that. So check his wines out. Quick note for the gift cards. My buddy Carlos Saba from high school has won the wine gift card for his comment on a potential name for the show. So Carlos, thanks for watching and thanks for commenting. We took a little spin on your name, which was, I believe, Pinot per click. So nice work there. And then Carlos Quimbo, no, it's just a coincidence. They're both named Carlos. My buddy CQ is actually in the wine industry. His family runs an importer-exporter in the Philippines for Asian wine. So I'm going to make a donation to a charity in Carlos's name of $25 to help fight the pandemic.
Awesome.
I think that is all we have for today. Matt, do you have any closing statements or things to say to the audience at large?
Yeah, I would just say to everyone, we're all locked down, stay at home most places. Don't forget it's really important we continue to support independent, locally owned restaurants and independent, locally owned retailers. A lot of those places are closed, but most of them are doing curbside or delivery. And it's really important, I think, to, you know, just one night a week, take out Tuesday or something, place an order, get it delivered, and just be sure to help support those people in your local communities. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. And as you're watching this, if you've made it to the end here, I'll throw out the plug. Comment below with either a question to talk about or something else interesting, and you could win a $25 wine gift card or a $25 donation to charity in your name. Next week, we have a very special guest from the ad tech industry. She is equal parts an ad tech celebrity and a well-known wine enthusiast within the community. I will leave it at that, and I can't wait to have her on next week. We're going to keep it with a 90s theme because she is the all-time 90s music queen. So be prepared to talk all things 90s next week with my special friend.
Love it.
As always, wonderful, and I'll see you next week.
Take care. Cheers.
Cheers.